Yo, what's up guys? Science Savage is back with another video. This time we're going to be talking about crocodiles, their ancestors, relatives, adaptations, characteristics, and the climate around at their ancestors' time. Alright, so crocodilians are considered to be archosauria as well as birds. So basically the birds and the crocodiles, they are the last living species under the archosauria. So, Archosauria also translates to ruling lizard. I just like to picture that as some kind of lizard sitting on his throne, a crown, you know. But that's not really happening because they're fairly small right now. At least the lizards are. But since they are the last Archosauria, this means that the two lineages, bird and crocodile, share a common ancestor. When they split, the bird line included literally all the dinosaurs, pterosaurs, I guess, too. The crocodile line, which had the crocodilians and crocodilomorphs, which are the crocodile's ancestors. The line split during the late Triassic period. One animal alive at that time was called the Carnifex, which looked like a very small T-Rex. Not very small. It was still pretty big. It'd probably kill you. But like it was a smaller version of the T-Rex with a very unproportional tail. It was so long. It's a bit weird. But so that's very important because that the Carnifex actually has like the traits of crocodilians and the dinosaurs, which means that is like it's also the earliest known ancestor of both. So that means that after the Carnifex, the bird line and the crocodile line, that is when they actually became like two distinct lines of different species. So the Carnifex was pretty important. Yeah, it's earliest ancestor of croc and bird, I guess. But we're talking about the like specific crocodile and bird line, not the Archosauria. That probably goes way back. So their ancestors and the intermediate species. Well, about that. Since the crocodiles actually appeared about 83.5 million years ago, there aren't really that many ancestors unless we want to go back to like prokaryotes and like the first single-celled organisms, but that's probably a bit too far back for now. One of the ancestors is called the Pseudosuchia, which is the false crocodiles. The traits they had were they had a huge head, very narrow snout, short neck, but very strong to basically like support their mouth, because that was probably like the main thing there. Couldn't really see anything being on the tail or feet. But yeah, so they had 2 or more rows of armored plates on them, which is kind of hard to imagine because we don't really view armored plates as crocodile backs. But that, you know, that could be changed. They are actually bulletproof and kind of ancestors of the birds. So, I mean, assuming they didn't split, that'd be flying bulletproof birds with crocodile mouth trying to kill you. That wouldn't last too long, really. We wouldn't even stand a chance. They're bulletproof, man. But yeah. But so on to the climate of their ancestors, which was during the late Triassic period. In the late Triassic period, Pangea was still, well, in the Triassic period, Pangea was still a thing, but in the late Triassic period, there was actually a rift going on that was going to split it into Laurasia and Gondwana. The climate was mostly dry with very hot summers and cold winters in the continental interior, so it was pretty predictable, honestly. But towards the coast, there was highly seasonal monsoon climate, and the general climate just overall was warmer than today. I'm not sure if they mean out of the whole world or Florida, but I know our summers are probably comparable. Whether or not that means to their autumn, spring, whatever, I don't know. I probably sucked for them. They didn't even have air conditioning. So, about their traits. The crocodiles had a V-shaped snout, which distinguishes them from the gharial, which is a false crocodile. It's basically like a crocodile alligator mix, but it's got so it's got like crocodile body, but then its nose is just really thin. It's crocodiles. They also have oh yeah, I never went into the alligator traits. The alligators have more of a U-shaped snout. That's how to tell them apart. Crocodiles also have more webbed feet to allow for better turning and mobility in shallow waters, basically anywhere, because if you're trying to swim, if you had like webbed feet, it'd be a lot easier, because it's just like, why would we have like the flippers, I guess is what they're called, for divers. Like, they're an obvious advantage and they help a lot. So crocodiles kind of missing out on that. But yeah. All right. So crocodiles, they also have specialized salt glands to filter out salt from the salt water, so they are able to tolerate being in saltier water than fresh water. Alligators don't have that, so they basically have to stay in like freshwater ponds, lakes, probably not ponds, probably small, but like freshwater areas. Whereas crocodiles, they can tolerate more salt water. So like it could probably be in the sea, but I mean that'd be a little weird. I haven't really heard of that. But the crocodiles, they're also a lot more aggressive than an alligator. So if you like walk past one and you're trying to walk past and it's on a thin lake, like the one in my backyard, we're not gonna talk about that. Crocodile would probably kill you. Alligator would probably be like, I don't know, probably like eyeing you, but probably not gonna kill you right there. Probably not. Hopefully not. I mean, you really gotta be lucky for that. You coming close to a crocodile, I mean, I'm not really sure why you're even getting close to a crocodile. That was pretty off topic. Just stay away from that, like, unless you absolutely have to. Like, don't be stupid. You're probably gonna die. Crocodiles also have a palatal. Palatal. I have no idea how to pronounce that. Palatal flap. But what it does is it blocks water from getting past the back of their mouth, so they don't like inhale water and like drown. Because like that's kind of important, to not drown. But also, as we've already discussed, they have armored dorsal surfaces on their back, not on their stomach though, luckily, so they're not an actual fortress just walking around. They actually have some kind of weakness, thankfully. But it's called an osteoderm, which is the kind of like the spikes on their back, I guess. They're not really too spiky. They have no offensive purpose. They're solely for defense and protection of the crocodile. But yeah, it's also you know, bulletproof and birds. Yeah. Well, I think that's all for now. See you next time with the Science Savages. Remember to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed it. I know I kind of had some flashbacks, not gonna lie.